Is it possible to make $50,000 a month with a YouTube business, or more specifically, an authority engine business like we teach here on this channel? I thought this was an appropriate way to start this video. Oh, you can make a little money online. I remember our first $4.99. Honestly, to this day, still maybe the sweetest moment is the first little bit of money you earn online. I just earned that first high ticket commission. These two right here were just bangers. Like, they were so good. You're consistently making 10K a month and then hitting 50K a month. Is this actually possible, or is it super clickbaity? So let me kind of walk you through. I did this in another video. I wish I had pulled it up. I'm not going to pull it up. There's another video on my channel, and the thumbnail is like how to escape, or the thumbnail I think says escape your cubicle or escape the cubicle. And in that one, I kind of talk about the difference between 10K and 50K when it comes to workload, and we'll touch that a little bit in this video. But I want to show that, truthfully, the difference between 10 and 50 is not that big. And the way we structure our coaching program, if you're not familiar, we have 2 links down in the description that I highly recommend checking out. One is the free training to hit consistent 10K months, and another is a option to book a call with me. We can talk about your business, talk about how to consistently get to 10K, and then we have a separate coaching program once you are consistently at 10K, where we talk about going up to that 50K mark. So first off, what is an authority engine business? Let's kind of define this, and then we'll start talking about the 10 and the 50 and what that progression looks like. What is an authority engine business? It's a YouTube-based business designed to identify a specific avatar. This is so unbelievably important. I rail on this. This is where so many people mess up. It's not even about a niche. I think there's a massive difference in this. There's a really good video on the channel too. The thumbnail is like niches are dead or something like that. And I really go into the idea of interest stacking. So your avatar is not someone who just likes the thing that you do. It's also identifying other aspects of who that avatar is to deepen the levels of connection you can make with that person. And so there's almost like tiers to the avatar, where like someone can want to make money online and they connect with me on the most base level, but then they're also a Christian and they're also a Duke fan, and maybe they have a Doberman, and obviously like each of these has different levels of significance and importance. But you start to stack all these interests together, and we're developing depth and layers to how much that avatar can connect with you. And it's fine to be that level 1, 2, 3, but the more that they connect with you, the more that you're eventually able to help them solve their problems, because the more they know, like, and trust you, the more they want to consume your content. Anyways, a little bit of a tangent there. But designed to help identify a specific avatar, develop authority in whatever that space is, that's more of the niche, and then serve them at a very high level. So we use our 1-1-1 framework, which is simply one avatar, one offer, and one traffic source. The traffic source we always say is YouTube, and it's simple, predictable, and scalable. I at this point, like, refuse to even look at businesses that can't fall within this paradigm, because I have such a bad habit in the past of falling into overly complex businesses where I'd be working on something for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then there's just too much stuff to do. I love very, very simple businesses that basically mean you have to do 1, 2, or max 3 things a day in order to grow the business. Predictable is like, if I do this action for a long enough period of time, it would be unreasonable to fail. That's a very similar line to Alex Hormozi uses. That as long as I boil the business down to the simplest functions, in this case, publishing content. And I know for a fact that if I publish content in the right way over a long enough period of time, it is unreasonable to fail at this. It's just a matter of, like, you have to keep doing it, right? If you stop doing it, then it's also predictable. It's not going to work. And then scalable. Again, the way the authority engine business is built, this is why I built my coaching program around the authority engine model, as opposed to something like online arbitrage that I love, but it doesn't follow this as simply. I mean, the big difference, the big reason I chose this one as opposed to online arbitrage is the amount of capital you really need in order to do it well. And this is just more attainable for literally any everyday person who's just serious about doing it. So scalable, you can easily get to. It takes work, but you can predictably get to that consistent 10K. And then you have a choice. Do you want to amp it up to that 50, 60, up to 100K mark? Or are you very comfortable in that 10 to 20 range where now you just get more freedom in your life? And that's kind of what you have to decide for yourself. So how do you consistently do 10K months? So you start by doing the one-time tasks. We talk about this within the coaching program. Your one-time tasks are typically going to be there can be a little bit of variation depending on what avatar you're serving. But for the most part, it's going to be you set up your core funnel with your core offer in it. You set up your email follow-up campaign. And eventually, if you want to do daily emails, you can. But in the beginning, we just want your basic flow, your basic automation for your emails. And then you're tracking to make sure you know, like you have control over all of your links and where things are going. So you do the one-time tasks. You can do it in a day, max a week. It's all done. Once the one-time tasks are done, all you have to do is publish content. So you publish content that solves your avatar's biggest problem. This is super important. So when we're working on what that offer is going to be, we want it to be something that is the avatar's biggest problem. And ideally, we're able to solve at a high ticket level, right? Like ideally, we're able to charge $500 to $2,500 to solve that problem. And we can also eventually, I actually like the low ticket to be something that you add later down the path. Like even after kind of you've developed your highest thing with the 50K. But anyway, so you publish content that solves the biggest problem that they have. So let's say, I've used this example a few times. I'll use this one again. There was think about this here, because we'll talk about 50K in a minute, which often involves coaching, but there are other options. Let's say this one is just a course option, right? So it solves your avatar's biggest problem. So one guy I know specifically helps CEOs with their alcoholism. It's a very expensive problem because it causes pain in their marriage, causes pain with their children, and then it also costs their business money because they're dealing with this, right? So he improves it, improves every area of his life. You can charge a really high amount for one-on-one coaching. But even if it's not someone who's a CEO, like there's a tier down where most people recognize something like alcoholism is just going to ruin your life, right? So you can charge $500 to $2,500 for this, either as your offer or as an affiliate offer. And most people recognize that is pennies compared to the pain that it's causing in their life. Probably financial pain, probably relational pain, probably just personal development, personal pain, right? So like, because it's such a heavy problem, people are willing to pay for it. So we identify who this avatar is, what's the biggest problem they have. Do we have a way to solve it for them that makes it a no-brainer for them to purchase it at a high ticket level? So we get paid well and they get, like, we're always creating a scenario where they win more than we do, right? So like, yes, they're paying good money for it, but this solves a massive problem that they are thankful that you solved. I've also given the example before where I've done two options actually. I did a training course for my Doberman before I got him. So this was a course I could just go through, learn some fundamentals and implement those. And then we're about to talk here in the 50K, I had another high ticket option where I paid even more money to have training done for him. So this is kind of the tiers we're thinking about. 10K is going to be that high ticket offer between about $500 and $2,500. It can be your own offer. It can be an affiliate offer. And we are solving a problem for our avatar. Okay. And then as you hit 10K a month, and again, let's say the average, you're making like $1,000 per sale on this. You only have to do it 10 times a month. Like that is actually really simple if you're publishing content consistently. Ideally, I always encourage people to do one a day because it's the only thing you're doing in your business. But if you need to do 5 a week, 3 a week, you have to do at least 1 a week, or like just don't even start this. Like you have to be consistent. And as you hit 10K, you keep the same publishing pace and grow faster, or slow down and grow slower. You have to be doing minimum 1 a week. It's just not even an option. If you're not going to minimum 1 a week, like don't start this business, right? But what becomes really beautiful here is as long as you are consistent, as long as you are doing, I believe very much in like sprint to 10K. Like 1 a day, nonstop. We're collecting our ideal customer. Every video we make, we are drawing people in who fit our avatar at a really good level. Let's say every video we get between 1 and 5 new people who come on the channel. They watch not only that video, they go watch some of our old content. They are interested in our lead magnet. They are added to our email list, all this stuff. And so we're doing that. We're until we get to about the point of 10K, and then we get to decide, okay, do I just like this pace? I want to continue to grow, but I don't feel like it's the most important thing in the world. Go down to 1 a week. Now you're doing 1 video a week. That's in the entire business. And you are probably going to like slowly grow up to about that 20K mark over time. And the longer you stay consistent, it will slowly compound on itself. or you can keep up that same pace and grow faster. At this point, it just comes down to how fast you want to keep publishing. Like, is the growth more important, or is the time freedom more important, or some combination of the two? So how do we go from this 10K a month to 50K a month? Well, it's not just a matter of publishing more. Obviously, at the end of the day, like, put more content out, get more traffic. That is the way the world works. So there is value in continuing to publish more. But really what we need to do is we need to create more leverage, right? We need to be getting more bang for the buck. We need to be selling something that is more expensive, solving a higher level problem faster with more efficiency and a higher likelihood of it succeeding. And that needs to not only be true, but it also needs to be perceived by the person we're serving. And in doing that, we're going to create more leverage and be able to make more money. So let's say we continue to sell roughly 10 to 20 of our $1,000 product a month. That's going to keep us between that $1,000 and $20,000. And then we add in some offer that's $10,000. And again, this isn't going to be for everybody. This is going to be for a very small percentage of our core audience. But 5 people buy that $10,000 offer, and now you've made $50,000 a month, right? And go back to the example of someone who is helping people with alcoholism, right? So you can have a really broad audience. You can build out this avatar. You can serve the top 5% who are CEOs who $10,000 is nothing to solve this massive problem in their life. While also serving the other 70% of people who just dealing with alcoholism, like they're not willing to pay $10,000 for it and get one-on-one coaching, but they are willing to go through something that's actually going to help them solve this problem, right? So we just have to make sure the problem we're solving is worth what we're charging and who we're charging it to, right? So we just need to be clear about that. So it comes down to finding a very high ticket problem. Like, we're not scamming people. We are actually finding a problem that is worth paying a high ticket price. And if your niche for whatever reason or your avatar doesn't have a 10K problem, maybe it's a 7K, maybe it's a 5K or a 4K. I wouldn't go under 3. At that point, it's going to be hard to get to this amount if you're under 3. You can start at 3 and slowly go up as you get testimonials. That's an option. So it comes down to finding a very high ticket problem and serving that top 5% of your market. So your core offer is going to serve 70% of your audience. And the other 30%, like maybe there's 30% in your audience that can't even afford the $500 to $2,500 item. 70% is probably low. I was just trying to be generous there of your market. And then your high ticket offer serves the top 5%. So, excuse me. What are you going to do for this, right? Coaching is always the easy way. And I say easy way, obviously I do think coaching is kind of easy. Like, if this is a problem that you know how to solve and you can just one-on-one work with someone to help them solve it, it's just a great way. It also is so fulfilling to help people achieve these goals that they're trying to achieve. But it can be that. It can also be, I'll go back to the example of my Doberman. I paid about $5,000 for, how long was the training? 5 weeks to have him trained. We had a baby coming home. So it was like, he wasn't bad. He was just crazy. So we had to be like, okay, he has to be able to obey commands when our son is born and he comes home, and like the dog can't just be running circles around the house, inside the house. So we were like, man, sucks. Don't want to pay this amount for it, but it's just not a negotiable option. Like, we need this. So we paid a high ticket price because we had a high ticket problem. I like that. High ticket price, high ticket problem. So that's what you're thinking. Like, and now, truthfully, if I was going into the dog industry, like, I'm going even higher than that, because it's okay to serve less people if the price, there's that, you have to do the equation here, but between like serve less people, but charge more money. So if you served 60% of so instead of selling 100% on a $5,000 item, if you could sell 60% on a $10,000 item, let's sell the 10,000, right? That creates a lot more capacity for you as well. Sorry, we're going a few different places with this, but hopefully you get the general concept of we're just tacking on a high ticket service to the top of our market. That's it. And coaching is a great way to do that. Obviously, something like you can do dog training if you were in the dog industry, so some type of training. But just think of, and usually you understand your avatar really well. Like, what would I pay, or who in my market would pay top dollar to have this problem solved, and how can I help them do that? So you're already starting You've already started building your core audience. So we want to continue that rhythm while you introduce the new offer. So basically, if we are going for this number, we're not going to want to pull back how much we're posting, because in the very beginning, we need to post to drive more traffic to what is typically going to be a call funnel. It can be different kinds. You can do a webinar, you can do other things as well. But usually if you're talking 10K, you're usually going to have to hop on a call with somebody. It doesn't have to be a high, some crazy sales pitch. You're just saying, hey, you have this problem. What have you tried before? How's it been working? Why'd you hop on the call? How can I help you? Well, this is what we've done with people before. I would love to help you. This is what we do, how we do it, how much it costs to do it. Are you interested in that? And it's really simple, right? Like, I'm not a big fan of high pressure. It's just like, is this a good fit or is it not? So we're going to continue our posting pace. If you're doing 1 a day, if you're doing 3 a week, doing 5 a week, whatever. The only time you start to pull that back is when your sales calendar gets so full that you're not doing both well, right? Like when one starts to suffer because you're taking 6 calls a day or whatever, and you're making 1 video a day. Okay, like at some point that's like you just can't do that. So then you have the option like, okay, do I pull my videos per week back a little bit, or do I hire a closer to help take these sales calls? And that's just going to be on a case-to-case basis what you need to do. Obviously, highly recommend book a call down below. We can work through all this together, make the right decision for you and your business based on your priorities and your goals and all these things. So the new high ticket offer is usually going to require sales calls. Again, we're not talking pressure sales calls. It's just getting on a call with someone and seeing if it's a good fit to work together and if you can actually help them solve their problem. Because as long as you've laid out the problem correctly, if you can help them solve the problem, it is like in their benefit for you to do it. So for example, if I can get someone who is making $1,000 a month to $10,000 a month, and I believe that, like, it's a no-brainer that like I want to work with this person because I can help them achieve this desired result. So we'll keep that posting schedule once the calendar gets booked up. Once it starts getting busier, we'll either slow down the content output or hire a closer. And again, just depends on what you want to do. And if you book a call down below, you and I can talk about what makes sense for you and your niche and your avatar and your business. So what's crazy is like people think this number is so ridiculous until you start hearing people who do this kind of number. 50 to 100 isn't that difficult. It's just it's basically what you're doing and adding one more component. So if you have any questions about this concept, let me know down in the comments. Obviously, more than happy to create more videos answering questions that you guys might have. But I love this model. I love that it's so simple. It's so predictable and it is scalable. This is something you can do for life without burnout. This is something you can do at your pace and align it with the way you want your life to function and the rhythm of your life. So can't recommend it enough. I freaking love YouTube. I freaking love what we've developed around the Authority Engine business and the model that we've built out. And it's just an incredible opportunity to serve people who are your dream client, your dream avatar. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I do appreciate you watching as always. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you again very soon on the next video.